Hello my loves, welcome to my channel, Taylor Fitness, Ash on the mat. Today we're going to do a full lower body workout, hips, glutes and legs. I'm going to start on hands and knees and just get a little bit looser first. So coming into the middle of your mat, fingers spread nice and wide, pressing the tops of the feet into the floor with shoulders over hands, with hips over knees. Let's start with a cat stretch. We take an inhale and with our exhale rounding up through the spine, tucking under the tailbone. Breathing in as we draw navel to mat and lifting the chin and the tailbone. And again, breathing out as we round up through the spine, pushing through palms. And inhale, belly to floor, arch in the back. And let's just do another 3 of those. Releasing the neck as we round up, looking towards your stomach. Inhale, stomach to floor, arch in the back. Just for 2. Breathing out, we round. And breathing in, we lower. One more time, exhaling to round up through the spine and inhaling to draw the stomach down towards the floor. I'm going to stay on hands and knees, gently drawing abs in, and then with the right knee we hover it off the floor and we're just starting to circle. So little circles, really it's from the hip, from the centre of the body. So really we're keeping that right foot still, right knee pretty still to move from centre. Steady breaths as you do this one. And let's do 2 more in that direction. And we'll just switch that around the other way. So keeping the right knee off the floor, keeping that strong press through the palms, through the fingertips. Steady breathe in for 3, for 2, and 1. And then we'll take that right foot out to the side for a moment, sit the weight gently back towards the left foot for a bit of extra stretch in the inner thigh. Bringing the weight out of the wrists a bit there as well. Take a nice deep breath. And we'll draw back over. Right knee coming back in, left knee circling, stomach muscles engaged. And then gently, slowly starting to circle. Again, from the hip rather than the knee or the foot. With breath flowing as we do this movement. For 3, for 2, and last one. And then reversing that one, really just trying to keep the right hip above the right knee as well. Watch out for kind of rolling over that leg. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. And then if we bring the left foot out to the side, sitting the weight back again, bringing the weight out of the fingertips, and taking a nice deep breath there. We don't have to sit back too far if it feels a little bit much. And then we're going to come back to hands and knees and into our down dog, our V-stretch. So let's tuck the toes under, stomach muscles in. We start with an inhale. The exhale, we lift up the hips to the bottom, pressing the shoulders towards the thighs, and just starting to gently pedal through the feet there. Softly drawing the ankles down towards the floor, or softly drawing the heels down towards the floor, I should say. Again, make sure you stay connected to your breath. You can probably hear my feet creaking a little bit there. We're going to do just another 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then from there, let's walk the hands back towards the feet for a moment. We're going to either bring the fingertips to the floor to lift the chin, or we can place the hands just below the knees on the shins there with a nice flat back, feeling a bit of extra stretch in the back of the thighs. Take a nice big inhale. And then the exhale will soften down, relaxing down over the legs. We're going to walk this back out once again. So flat hands, flat thumbs to walk out. Gently bring the knees down, untuck the toes, and walk the hands back towards the legs from there, giving the wrists a little shake off. Okay, we're going to start out on our sides today. So we'll take a roll over, drawing down either onto the arm or onto the hand and the elbow. And then we're extending out both legs. We're kind of in that banana shape where the feet are a little bit further forwards. Hips stacked one above the other, stomach muscles pulling up and in. And then we're going to flex both feet, pushing through both heels. We draw the top foot up and then we point the toes to draw down. So the bottom foot stays flexed, this top foot flexing on the way up, pointing on the way down. It's up to you how high you lift with this one. We're trying to work into the inner thighs. So as we bring the foot back down, that sense of squeezing the inner thighs back together. Breathe in, we inhale up, exhale down. Nice and gentle with that one. Again, it's as big as you want to make the movement. Feeling a little bit of stretch as we work into the inner thigh. And we're going to do just another 3, 2, and last one there. And then from there, we'll bend both knees and bring the feet off the floor. So stomach muscles are pulling up and in as well. We open up the knees, extend the leg, bring the foot back, bring the knees back. So with this one, we're trying to stabilize the knee as we lengthen from knee to toes, squeezing on the way down. And then the breathing for this one, if we take our inhale as we open and extend, and then the exhale as we draw it back. Breathing in and breathing out to draw that back, just for 3, for 2, and one more time, breathing in to open and lengthen, and then breathing out to draw that back down. Okay, we'll extend out the top leg, big push through the heel again, flexing the foot, and then we're just lifting and lowering from there. Like starting to feel a bit heavier now. We inhale as we lift, exhale as we lower. Inhaling up, exhaling down, pushing as much energy through the heel of the foot as possible, but still keeping the pelvis, the hips nice and stable. We've got 2 more. Inhale up and exhale down one more time with that one. And then we're just going to relax that foot. So slowly we start to draw the foot forwards, up and back, circling and trying to anchor down through this bottom leg. And circling from the hip is the idea with this one. And I feel it a little bit in your bottom as well. Let's do another 3. Steady breaths for 2. And last one there. And then let's just reverse that circle. Going a little bit behind the hip, behind your bottom, and then back in front. Essentially just circling around that hip joint. For 3, for 2, and 1. And then we'll bring that back in from there. We might want to give the hip a little rub after that little lap. Okay, last one on this side. We're going to extend out the bottom leg and draw the top leg over. Now you can either hold the leg there or just keep the hand in front of your stomach. Pushing through the heel of this straight leg, and we're lifting and lowering. So we're working the inner thigh on the other leg now. But whilst we're on this side, we'll crack on with this one. Steady breaths again there. Seeing if we can keep the foot off the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then lifting as high as we can. Can relax that foot now. Breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll bring that back in. We're going to bring the knees back in, push into the palm to come up off the mat, drawing the legs to the other side and drawing back down from there. So we started with a sort of banana shaped one where we had the legs extended nice and straight, the feet were visible, the hips are stacked one above the other, abs pulling up and in, shoulder out of the face. And we were flexing both feet, pushing through the heels. We then lift the top leg, point the toes to lower. So flexing on the way up, pointing on the way down, that feeling of squeezing the inner thighs back together, making it as big as you comfortably can, whilst keeping the hips and the pelvis nice and steady. Breathe in, we inhale up, exhale down, flex and point, inhale, exhale for 3, for 2, and last one there. And then we're going to bring the feet and knees in, lifting the heels off the floor. And then we opened up the knees here, extending the legs, stabilizing that knee, drawing the feet back, then drawing the knees back. Breathing in to open, breathing out to draw down. That feeling of squeezing as we draw back down. Like there's a resistance between the knees like you're moving through water. Just a few more of this one. We'll do a final 3, please. For 2. Nice and controlled. One more time. Breathing in to lift and lengthen. And then breathing out to draw down. Our next one, we extended out the top leg. Big push through the heel. Nice straight line from elbow to hip to heel. We were lifting the foot. And then just bringing that back to hip height. Breathing in to lift. Breathing out to lower. Pushing energy through the heel, but feeling like we're lifting from the hip. So moving from center, Just 3. And 2. One more time with that one. And then if we relax that foot, we're going to circle, drawing the foot forwards, up and back, nice and steady. So I've just moved that foot a little bit. If we keep the foot away from the bottom and draw out, it does tend to make us feel a little bit more stable. Steady breaths, but still moving from the hip rather than the foot for 3. For 2. And last one there. And we reverse that one, drawing it back behind the hip, a little way in front of the hip. Pulling into those stomach muscles, navel to the spine. And just for 3, for 2, and a 1. And then our next one, we had the bottom leg extended. So we brought the top knee over, extended out through the bottom leg, but big push through the heel on that bottom leg, that straight leg, and then just lifting and lowering, seeing if you can keep the foot off the floor, pressing the inner thigh towards the ceiling. Breath flowing, always breathing. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1. And then we'll hold it there, relaxing the foot. Keep breathing for 5, as high as you can. 4, 3, 2, 1. And we lower that back down. Okay, let's come up off the mat from there, pushing off the mat and drawing back to hands and knees. So we're going to come right back into the middle of the mat. Shoulders over hands, hips over knees, big push through hands, and then we're extending opposite arm to leg. So let's lengthen back the left leg, reach out the right arm, lift away from that mat, holding nice and steady for the moment. And then we're going to bend the knee, bringing the foot towards the bottom and extending the leg away. Now if that feels a little tricky, just bring that right hand back down to the floor, keeping ears above shoulders, breathing in as we bend. Breathing out as we lengthen and pressing the hamstring towards the ceiling as we extend. Just 2 more, inhale in, exhale, foot away, 1 more time, breathing into bend, breathing out to extend. I'm going to bring that left foot down, draw the elbows down to the mat, so the elbows are replacing the hands, still keeping the ears above the shoulders, and then lifting that left foot away from the floor. We're just going to do these little pulses here. Squeezing glutes, squeezing bottoms. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1. And we'll bring that knee back in. Ooh, let's push back up. Hands replacing elbows. And we're doing the same for the other side. Extending back the right leg. Reaching out the left arm. If you can, if that feels a bit much, the hand stays on the floor. Reaching to fingertips, extending to toes. Breathing in as we bend that right knee. Breathing out as we lengthen. Just taking a little pause as you extend out. Trying to engage the back of the thigh, pressing the hamstring towards the ceiling. Inhale in. And exhale it out for 3. Big push through right palm for 2. Or both palms if that other hand's down. 1 more time. Inhale in. And exhale to lengthen. Bringing the hand down, the foot down, replacing hands with elbows. And then lifting the right foot away from the mat. We're still pulling in stomach muscles. Little pulses here. Squeezing glutes. And breathing. And last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great, we shall bring that knee back in, take a seat back on the heels here. Drawing back into child's pose, letting the forehead come down to the mat. And we can always open the knees a little bit wider for a little bit more stretch around the hips and the groin. I'm just taking some breaths. We could also rock a little side to side here if that feels good to do. Let's take 1 more deep breath there. And then we're going to come onto our fronts for our last exercise today. All the way down onto your front, bringing the hands either just in front of the head or underneath the forehead. We want the legs to feel nice and long, tops of the feet pressing into the mat. And then we are lifting both feet, but we'll keep abs engaged. Take an inhale, use the exhale to lift the legs from the hips. And the inhale to lower. Breathing out as we lift. Breathing in as we lower. So lifting from center, just making sure we don't push off the toes as we do this one. We've got 4. And 3, exhaling up. Inhaling down. And 2, exhale, lifting from center. Inhale, lower one more time, breathing out to lift. And breathing in to lower. Let's come right back up with the feet. We're holding there for a moment. Still squeezing bottoms, squeezing glutes, breathing through this hold. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we'll let the feet come back down to the floor. Let's push back up, hands under chest, toes tucked under. Big push into the hands. Sitting the weight back a moment, releasing the spine. Deep breath here. And then we'll draw back to hands and knees. Just coming into our V stretch for a little bit of extra stretch to finish. Toes tucked under, we breathe in. Breathing out, hips lifting, bottoms lifting. Shoulders pressing back towards the thighs. We can bend the knees if that's more comfortable. A little bit of movement here, a little bit of pedaling. Gently pressing the heels towards the mat. Oh, let's take one more breath here. And we'll walk the hands back towards the feet. So like we did right at the start, we're bringing either fingertips to floor, giving the chin a little lift, or just placing the hands beneath the knees with nice straight arms, flat back, half lift. We inhale. And we exhale to release down. We're going to roll up to standing from here. Little bend of the knees, and then drawing away from the mat, using those abdominals connected to your core. We restack the spine all the way up to standing. Drawing back through the shoulders, nice tall spine. I always finish with 3 deep breaths. So you can bring the feet out nice and wide here, bend the knees, and we'll inhale above the shoulders. Exhale to release for 2. Pressing the knees out and back to get a bit of stretching in the thighs. One more inhale up. And exhale that out. And we shall leave it there for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.